just pay enough.
Hello there, this is Project Swift casting another DotA is Hard Wednesday night in-house. So for this one, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of fun with a reverse captain's mode match. So, should be interesting. For those of you who haven't played a reverse captain's mode match, you should definitely get on it. It's a lot of interesting, good fun. It really challenges the way that you think about some heroes and makes you sort of do some things differently, makes them a bit more, makes you think about things differently. So you get things like support carries and just change things up. So pretty much for a reverse captain's mode, it works the same as a normal captain's mode, except you pick your opponent's heroes. So pretty much you ban the heroes that you don't want on your team, and then your opponent picks your heroes. That's how it works. So we've got like straight up bans of Meepo and Rikimaru, as well as Phantom Assassin and Lycan. So they're heroes that both of those teams don't want to play. And we've got a first pick of Night Stalker. First pick of Clinks into a follow-up pick of Night Stalker and someone. So they're still coming out. So there's a bunch of rules that go with like the tournament reverse captain's mode, and we usually play by those because it does make it a lot more fun. So you have to give your opponent at least one of every stat. So you must have a strength, agility, and intelligence hero. So one of each. And you also have to have at least 2 ranged heroes. So that's the makeup. That's the makeup of the teams. That's what it's got to be. So, really, I see a lot of people really think over the picks and bans in reverse captain's mode, because you're looking at all the options of all these heroes, and they're all good. Like, to an extent, all the heroes are good at something, and you just don't want to verse them because you're just gonna get like terrible heroes as well. Like, it's fine in all pick if you see like a terrible hero, because you can just pick a hero that like counters it and eats it alive. But you've got to really like think about who's gonna get countered, which is why I don't know about this Night Stalker pick. So for the team that got the Clinks, they then picked the Night Stalker and a Dazzle. So I like Dazzle in reverse captain's mode. Dazzle is a strong hero, but he needs the right allies. If you don't have the right allies, he sort of falls out a fair bit. I find, especially with his ultimate. Like if you have Weave, and then all of your allies do magical damage, Weave is pointless. So, just things like that. You've got to think through a few things. So this Night Stalker pickup has Silence, Crippling Fear, 5-second silence at level 1. That will really stuff up Clinks, as well as that burst damage from the Void. So I don't think this Night Stalker was an excellent pickup. He's going to have a lot of fun come nighttime, but we'll see how it goes. So the Radiant team with this Night Stalker under their belt could just pick like a team of 5 squishy supports for the Dire team. Give them like just I don't know, heroes like Bane and Shadow Demon and those sort of, which are good supports, but they all need that follow-up. Like, Shadow Demon is excellent with someone like Leshrac or Lena, because they have that follow-up stun for disruption, and you have that extra damage from the Soul Catcher. Have an extra damage from Soul Catcher. But without those sort of heroes, Shadow Demon just falls down and is basically useless. He has his ultimate, which slows people, but that's it. So you sort of got to start thinking about heroes differently. And also, while we're thinking about things differently, I've noticed here from the Obscene squad up top on the Dire team that their picture appears to be a girl who has yogurt on her face. I believe that's yogurt. I'm gonna go with that. Also, I'm not hungry and I don't require dinner anymore. Thanks, guys. But so you see these further bans. So you see like Morphling being banned out as well as Ursa. I don't see Morphling played much at all anymore. He's just completely fallen out, and he hasn't really. He doesn't bring the same sort of effectiveness that he used to back in the old DotA of like 5 protect 1, everybody protects the one hero. Morphling was great then because he has 4 escapes. But yeah, these days when you have like tricores and you try and push and end the game within 30 minutes, those sort of things, Morphling just doesn't see that much play. So it's being banned out in this reverse captain's mode. Ursa as well. While Ursa does a lot of damage, you need those slows and you need those stuns to sort of make sure that he can really hit people. If he can't get close to people, he can't do anything. We're going to pick a Faceless Void as well. So Faceless Void and Wisp. So yeah, all these heroes that you think of as really, really good top tier heroes. Wisp, second most picked and banned hero in Western Dota, next to Batrider. But you see him being picked in the reverse captain's mode match. So either that's because you're hoping that they, like in these lower tier games, we got just like randoms thrown together into these teams from the DotA's hard community, just jumping together. So you sort of hope that teams don't have the same coordination for Wisp. Also, if he doesn't have excellent heroes to follow around, he becomes fairly useless. I played a reverse captain's mode the other day where the only real option that the Wisp had to follow around was a Necrolite. And that did work quite well, because if you tether, it like gives you the bonus heals. So like Necrolite ended up healing himself with his Death Pulse for like 600 every time he used his heal. So that actually turned out to be a nice little interesting combo thing. And then super speedy Necrolite just kept up with people go Death Pulse, Death Pulse, Death Pulse, Death Pulse. So it's kind of like the Bristleback that Alliance ran, the Bristleback Wisp just running around. We've got a pick of Skeleton Kings. So on the Dire team, on the Radiant team here, we have 1 agility, 1 strength, and 1 intelligence hero, but we only have 1 range. So this next hero has to be a ranged hero. For the Dire team, the Radiant still have to pick a strength hero. Nope, we got the Wisp. So we've got at least 2 ranged heroes. We've got 3 ranged heroes. We've got 1 agility, 1 intelligence, and 1 strength hero. So the Radiant team can just pick whatever they want for the Dire team. They can pick the worst hero that they want. As long as nobody's listening to me live, I will suggest Ancient Apparition. So, my general strategy when I play reverse captain's mode matches is just try and not give them stuns. That's always a fairly solid thing. As long as they don't have stuns or disables or real disables of any type, that's always a fairly solid idea to go for. So I give people things like I can't think of things off the top of my head, but like Necrolite's got a fairly fake stun with his ultimate, but I do like Necrolite, so I try not to give him that. Witch Doctor with his cask, that's a fairly fake stun. Ancient Apparition is a good one, another fairly fake stun as well. They're all very like situational heroes that really rely on the correct teammates to go well. And if you don't give them those correct teammates, as long as you don't give them those setups, those heroes are fairly minimal, fairly useless, I find. So those are the sort of things that you've got to think through. So, I'm just thinking through some different things. Giving the another thing for this team, I find they've got 3 melee heroes, like full 3 melee heroes, and they've given them the Skeleton King. So that Vampiric Aura is going to be doing a fair bit. I did like the pickup of the Faceless Void, so that Chronosphere is gonna get in the way as much good as it's gonna. Oh. Oh, pick of Invoker. So this Chronosphere was going to get in the way, but now it's a perfect setup for things like Meteor, what's it called? Meteor, EMP, Sunstrike. That's opened up the usefulness of Chronosphere a lot. Giving Invoker to a team in a reverse captain's mode match is always risky because you're hoping that your opponents don't know how to use him. Because if your opponents do know how to use him, you're going to get shredded. Invoker works really, really well against teams that don't have that team fight coordination. So, ooh, that's gonna hurt. I feel the very first reverse captain's mode game I ever played, the enemy first picked us Meepo. Now, Meepo is one of my favorite heroes, so that was a reverse captain's mode. That was just an absolute slaughter. So, gotta watch out for that when you're playing reverse captain's mode. You can't always count on the fact that your opponents can't play the heroes. If you really want to go down that strategy, down that road, you've got to pick the opponents a lot of difficult heroes. So you've got to pick Shen, Enchantress, Enigma, Invoker, and Visage, and Meepo. So you've got to pick 5 difficult heroes to play. You can't just pick one, because then any one good player can just play him, and play him well. But if you pick 5 difficult heroes, then that really, that will hamper their strategy a lot more, especially if you've got newer players on your team.
Prepare for battle.
So, here we go. We have 2 ridiculous themes, so we'll see how this goes. So, Do You Speak Korean is going to be taking up the mantle, I guess, the mantle of Invoker. Does have a Blades of Attack, a Tango, and a branch, an Ironwood branch, so it's probably going an Exort Invoker up against this team. Hairy Banana is going to be carrying on the Faceless Void. Bloodstruck is on the Night Stalker. Isn't going to be going a solo mid. Night Stalker is going to be going on one of the lanes. Skeleton King is played by dash 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 dash, or is forward slash backslash forward slash. Is going to be playing the Skeleton King. Japify is on the Dazzle. On the Dire team, the Captain Roman is going to be playing the Undying. Lady Rainicorn is going solo mid with the Bloodseeker up against that Invoker. Asa is on the Lich with... people have got to tell me how to pronounce your names, because I don't know what that means. He's going to be playing Io, the Wisp, and Standin Kalon is going to be solo top on the Clinks. So it looks like we do have an aggressive tri-lane being run here. We've got a Wisp, Lich, and Undying. We do have a defensive tri-lane being run as well of Skeleton King, Dazzle, and Faceless Void. So looks to be a a support Skeleton King walking into the middle of 2 heroes right now. Wisp does have that tether up, should be using it. The Tombstone not so good on level 1. If you Undying, especially in tri-lane versus tri-lane, get Decay, or pretty much Undying, get Decay level 1. Tombstone is almost useless level 1. It only has a 400 range of spawning zombies. So, get Decay level 1. Don't level it any more than 1 level, because the mana cost goes up way too much and you'll starve yourself. But get 1 level in Decay, 2 levels Tombstone, 1 level in Soul Rip, Tombstone, Alt, Tombstone, then start getting levels in these other 2. But yeah, don't get level 1 Tombstone, it's not that great. Get level 1 Decay, it boosts your damage, it deals so much damage, steals all their strength. If you're against strength heroes, steals their last hitting power. It's excellent. Good pickup, good start. This solo mid situation will be one to watch. So Bloodseeker is going up against this Invoker. So Invoker is going the Exort build, so he's going to be looking to try and outlast hit the Bloodseeker. So Bloodseeker has noticed this. The Invoker hasn't gone the Quace, so doesn't have that regen. So has picked up Blood Rage and started harassing early with that Blood Rage. So good choice there from the Bloodseeker. Although it's going to get a bit difficult later on when Bloodseeker's going to try and outlast hit this Invoker, and it's not going to work, and Bloodseeker's not going to be getting that regen. Meanwhile, in the top lane, this Night Stalker's going head-to-head with the Clinks. Clinks has used up his salve, but still has plenty of mana for the Searing Arrows. Night Stalker's just trying to get that solo experience, trying to get to level 6 as quick as possible, get as many last hits up. He's doing quite well. He's got 8 last hits over the Clinks' 4, so Clinks isn't really harassing too much, is missing a few of those last hits. And I missed the first blood! So, first blood was on the Wisp. This Sunstrike coming in does get that kill on the Undying as well, so that's 2 heroes down from that aggressive tri-lane. So Tombstone still spawning some zombies, they're just farming some zombies, don't get the kill on the Tombstone, but that is a death to the Undying and the Wisp. Excellent Sunstrike there from the Invoker. So, just running, I guess running through, we got a double damage there, being pinged by the Wisp. But yeah, having a quick look through the heroes, I think the Radiant team have the better team at the moment. They have much more disables available to them. The stun from Dazzle, the slow slash stun from Dazzle, stun from Skeleton King. Meanwhile, Skeleton King's taken a lot of damage. We've got Tombstones thrown in under the tower. A stun from the Skeleton King in under the tower as well, but he's going to get a kill. Just the Sunstrike just misses the Lich. Lich has taken a fair bit of damage. Wisp is chasing after these 2 heroes, giving them hell. The Lich has stepped back in. We've got this stun on the Faceless Void. The Wisp does go down, but the Dazzle is running in after, wants to get this hit on the Lich, has popped a salve, but I don't think he's going to be quick enough. Lich does have very fast movement speed, so he's a difficult hero to chase. The Skeleton King has come back in, taken a bit of damage from Wisp, has opened up. Another Sunstrike's coming in, just missed. It did, the Undying did off-step that one, so stepped around that Sunstrike. Good dodge. Interesting stuff. So the Skeleton Kings come back in. So, as I was saying, the Radiant team does have a lot more disable available to them. They got 1 slow stun, got Chronosphere. That Chronosphere is going to be brutal when the Invoker gets a few levels up and is able to start dropping Meteor on people's heads. That will hurt a lot. Meanwhile, the Radiant team, the Dire team do have a little bit of team fight going. They've got if the Undying's able to get a few levels, that's don't like it. No, you gotta max your Tombstone. Tombstone is your team fight as an Undying. It's your survivability when you have your ultimate on. It shreds the enemy support. Does a lot of damage to enemy supports. Also drags them all down to near slow. But it's so ineffective at level 1, you have to max it as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we got a stun coming in. Just got enough mana for the stun. We got this Sunstrike just missed again. Undying did manage to steal some strength, kept himself healthy, and the Faceless Void jumped in to try and get this last hit. Does get a punch in. Good work there from the Undying. So the lower cooldown from the Decay is working. It's only got an 8-second cooldown. Does a little bit of extra damage. But yeah, the extra mana cost and not maxing Tombstone, I feel, is not worth it. So we'll see how it goes. Excellent skill, but we'll see where this Undying takes it. This Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane situation is really interesting. It's really fun. Bloodseeker has now ticked over to level 6, has bought those power treads, so he's able to go hunting. Invoker doesn't have much mana, is going straight up Exhort and Quace. Hasn't opted for a point in Wex. I do like getting, depending on what build I'm going, I usually always get 1 level in each reasonably early. Invoker has also picked up a Midas, so but yes, I really try and get 1 level in each of the 3 quite early, so that I have access to all my spells. All the different spells are useful to some extent early on in the game. The Exhort spells,
they're okay. But like if you picked up Wex, you would have Alacrity. Alacrity is amazing amount of damage early in the game. Also gives you access to Deafening Blast, which can interrupt channeling spells, throw in that little bit of extra damage, especially if you're going Exord. And also gives you Frost. No, what am I thinking of? A kill there. Night Stalker does come in. It is now nighttime. Does get that kill on the Bloodseeker. What am I missing? Oh yeah, gives you Ghost Walk as well. So it gives you that escape mechanism. So two very important spells there from just getting 1 point in Wex. You don't have to max it. Just the 1 point definitely helps a lot. So, but if you're not confident with all the different spells that it has to offer, so if you can only focus on like a few spells, say if you're learning Invoker, then it's fine to just get the 2 while you're learning. But I think if you're an experienced Invoker, really, I suggest getting all 3 early on. So Clinks is running around trying to hide from this Night Stalker. The Bloodseeker's come in, has used, I don't think, no, Night Stalker isn't able to get away. Good silence, good use of Rupture and Blood Rage, and then just that murderous amount of damage from the Clinks' searing arrows was excellent play there, killing off that Night Stalker. That's going to hamper his nighttime run. He does have a bottle, an Urn of Shadows, and boots. Doesn't have a whole lot more, so that's really gonna put a dent in how much he can do. He will go, if Night Stalker has the chance, he will go nuts over the top of the Lich and this Wisp here. So if he's able to get a hand on these 2 supports, they will drop like flies. They will go down like paper. So very good play there, taking the Night Stalker out of the picture for a while there. But he's back alive and he's running bottom, so this could be his revenge. Has opted out of getting Darkness. What? How did you do that? Oh, did you do that? Huh? Everyone guessing. Okay, that was weird. I just got a thing just popped up. That's really, apparently that works. Okay. There we go, there's the console command to get that working. Whoever did that one, congratulations. You can now pop up random facts throughout the game. But yes, there was a kill on the Wisp there, so... that was interesting. I should totally learn how to do that and then get somebody... I can have a Bruno stats man. That's okay. You should whoever did that, you should totally teach me how to do that once this game is finished. Do it. Meanwhile, there's a kill on the Faceless Void in the bottom lane. So, good pick up there. The Dire team are rampaging, going straight through the Radiant team. Got 2 kills. Managed to pick up the Faceless Void and the Sport, and they're diving in after... Nope, turned around. Bloodseeker's backing off. Doesn't want to go in after this Skeleton King. Lich does, though, and is pretty much going to die to the tower. As well as the lane. So, pings are on this Lich. Might be looking for a Sunstrike. They do. The Invoker doesn't have Sunstrike available currently. Did see him wander past this ward. So I'll be impressed. I really want this Invoker to go for it. Now, it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. Does have Invoker available, but isn't going to go for this Sunstrike. Oh, I would have been so keen to see if he got it. That Bloodseeker has picked up an Invis rune. Does have his ultimate up in 5 seconds, so... this Invoker's in for a bit of a tough time. Tether is up. There we go. 10. Massive burst damage up against this Invoker. Although the Invoker's turning it around, did summon the Wisp. He didn't silence the Invoker. He summoned the... that is a double kill for the Invoker. There you go. Forged Spirits and Cold Snap. That is the power of Forged Spirits and Cold Snap. It murders people one-on-one. So you need to get that silence off on the Invoker. That was brutal. That was huge. Excellent play by the Invoker. Great, speedy reactions. Thank you for whoever is doing this. This is excellent. Yes, whoever is doing that, you totally have to teach me how to do it afterwards. I'm holding you to it. I'll forgive the interruptions if you teach me how to do it afterwards. Io's going down for excellent Sunstrike from the... Actually, I'm not sure if the Sunstrike hit. I think it was just hits from that Forge Spirit. But yeah, does pick up the kill on the Wisp. That Wisp is being starved. He's almost level 6. Just wants to jump in with that Lich on top of 2 people. Which Lich is almost level 6 as well. So, jump in on 2 people that are standing right next to each other. And Chain Frost. Go. Where's my... There we are, net worth. So right now, the Invoker with those plenty of extra kills and that Hand of Midas is currently leading the net worth by almost double. So it's doing a fair bit right now. Has picked up a... Does have that Force Staff ready. Will be coming out once the Courier's done. So yeah, just going that straight up surprise Forge Spirit Cold Snap build. Lots of pings are happening on this Undying here, and he's gonna be in a difficult time. And there you just gets absolutely does get hit by the Sunstrike, and there that ended Undying killing spree. Actually, I'm gonna revisit the Undying. So Undying has gone straight up to K. Hasn't opted for like leveling any other skills, and is then leveling Soul Rip. I don't think I agree. I don't know. I don't really like this skill build, but it's doing okay. I'm a big believer in Tombstone. That's all I can say. Yeah, forever known as the Obscene Squad. That is who they are. I'm not going to say that on my cast. Alright. So, flicking through, somebody needs to kill this Invoker. They need to jump on that Invoker. He's picked up Dust as well, so he has got his eyes set on that Clinks, and he's nope, just teleported bottom lane. So in the meantime, Clinks is going rampaging on the top lane. Clinks has picked up a Midas as well, so he's looking to out-farm that team and sort of boost his net worth as well. We got Night Stalker wandering in. It is no longer night time, so he's going to have to suffer for his boring old daytime 2-second slows. So ping's happening on this Bloodseeker, so that ward caught him out. They know that he's here, and they're hiding in right under the tower. Faceless Void does have his Chronosphere, that has a lot of strength stolen. Dazzle's healing him up. We got 3 heroes at the moment, with Wisp wandering bottom. Wisp now does have his relocate, so he's level 6 now. Tombstone straight up, they've found him, but they've turned around going straight on this Undying, and he's completely caught out. Night Stalker teleported bottom. So much burst damage, with the tower hitting him as well. That Undying sealed his own fate by forcing them to go aggressive. Here we go, they're teleporting mid, they're having a second go on this Invoker, so he's been ruptured, Force-staffed, he needs to be silenced, they need a stun, that Wisp needs to get around the other side, but they do get the kill! They finally get that kill on the Invoker, and he just buys straight back. I think the Wisp has teleported back into the middle of the fight, the Skeleton King did get the kill. This jump's going nuts, hitting lots of people, but the Skeleton King has come back on full health, full mana, and right now Undying in the middle of a whole heap of trouble. The Invoker's Sunstrike just misses. He heals himself a little bit with that decay, but the last hit's taken out by Mortal Strike and an extra hit from the Night Stalker, and then boom, Chronosphere straight into those 2 heroes, and that's a double kill to the Faceless Void. Radiant are sitting pretty. They are looking pretty happy right now. Looks like Faceless Void is rushing that Mask of Madness, wants to get that early game damage, that early game stun and presence up as fast as possible. So it's probably going Treads, Mask of Madness. Bloodseeker's looking, not Bloodseeker, sorry, Night Stalker is looking for that Aghanims as well. The Bloodseeker did just purchase a Force Staff, so he will be able to rupture Force Staff people. Does need level 11 before he starts doing too much, before he starts doing real amounts of damage with that Rupture. Rupture is alright with the amount of damage that it does at level 1. Sort of scares some supports and things like that. But you don't really start doing damage until it gets to level 2. You can depending on the situation, you can just run straight through level 1 Rupture. It's okay. You take a bit of damage, but you can run in under the tower, and then especially if you like got a stun or something, you just stun them straight out. And right now, this Dazzle just teleporting straight out. No, that's Rupture and Force Staff blown. Force Staff does not cancel teleport scrolls, for those who don't know. And there's a kill from the support Skeleton King on the Undying. So these three bottom are making it hard, and there's a Sunstrike on top of the Lich. And right now Invoker's on very, very little low life. Nightstalker does come in, help him out. Clinks' invis has run out, so Dust has been popped by the Invoker. He did pick that up earlier. Slow stun. That was a really interesting... that was weird. So the Wisp sort of tethered onto the Clinks to try and help him out, and it just stopped. He just got stopped on top of the cliff there, so that was really unfortunate for the Wisp there, and he just got picked off straight away. So good save, got a good stun on the Nightstalker, got Force Staff straight through that tether, so he was stunned, and it did allow that Clinks to get away. Pings are happening on this Bloodseeker. The Nightstalker does... Bloodseeker does have his ultimate up in a moment, but right now Nightstalker's just going... Just missed that Sunstrike again. Very, very close, but Nightstalker's going straight in after, but Bloodseeker got that extra move speed from somewhere. Probably this Dazzle did get that extra move speed, but right now, caught in that Chronosphere. That's what I was saying, this Chronosphere is going to be doing sort of as much damage as it is good. So, caught his two allies in the Chronosphere there, did get that Dazzle kill, and this Skeleton King is going to die as well. And there's a triple kill to the Undying. So, that Decay, like that continuous damage from Decay and Soul Rip is doing a fair bit of damage. Doing a fair bit. Right now this Clinks, they do share the damage on that Sunstrike, but Invoker just Force Staff straight in and absolutely shreds that Clink. Lich has come in, thrown an ultimate, Delta Split, Delta Split, Delta Split. Does he? Nightstalkers needs one more punch. He can't chew his way out of those trees, but he does have that urn. A stun from the Skeleton King as well as a heal from the Dazzle keeps that Nightstalker alive. Meanwhile, the Invoker has dived in under the tower, does have a Rupture on top of him. Bloodseeker can see him. Sort of Force Staffing around, needs that silence, got 1, 2 and a stun. Nope, he used that damage buff on himself and did get that kill on the Invoker. Meanwhile, heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of pings. I missed that thing coming out from the side, sorry. But yeah, heaps and heaps of pings on the bottom tower, so good deny there from the Bloodseeker. The Dire team still playing on the back foot, but they are doing a good job of playing on the back foot. So, Radiant team are keeping that aggression up, but the Dire team are reacting to it quite well. This Bloodseeker is in the right places at the right times. And this Clinks is popping out and doing plenty of damage to those squishier supports when he has the opportunity. And this Faithless Void is going to have to jump away. Did use his Mask of Madness to run away much faster right next to the Skeleton King. So, difficult for the Clinks to follow that up. Once the Clinks does get an Orchids up, that will help the Dire team a lot. That will completely nullify any of the damage that, like, any of that team fight ability that the Invoker has. So, Orchids on the Invoker will hurt. Also, on top of the Dazzle, will basically allow the Clinks to just farm this Dazzle with silence and then that massive amount of burst damage. There's no chance that Dazzle's going to be able to. Two heroes coming in, they want this courier, they do find it. Excellent teleport in from the Wisp. Good pick off. You can't be safe anywhere with the Wisp. You just gotta watch everything. That was an excellent play. Meanwhile, action's happening. So much damage. Whisper's tethered in, trying to help him out. Oh, there we go. Chronosphere sort of helping, but the Invoker is on the outside doing plenty of extra damage. Weave from the Dazzle, ripping through any of the armor, and we have Dust coming out onto the thing. So that is 4 heroes down. 4 heroes down for the Radiant. Sorry, the Dire team. So that was a good use of Chronosphere. There we go. That Wisp getting that courier sniping going. But yeah, that was that use of Chronosphere with the Invoker on the outside is brutal. That's the sort of stuff that you got to watch out for in Captain's Mode games. Just accidentally giving your opponent those sort of nifty little combos. Ooh, stuffed up the order a little bit there. So it is a good choice of combo there. So you Tornado people, but then you should drop Meteor. So Tornado, then Meteor, and then follow up with the Deafening Blast. That's the best way to do the most amount of damage with an Invoker. And then if you're really quick, you can follow that up with like Ice Wall and an EMP as well. So you can do plenty of damage with an Invoker in a very short amount of time. Best way to do it, you can do those three, Tornado into Chaos Meteor into Deafening Blast without an Aghanims, but once you hit like level 17 and you get an Aghanims, you get a 2-second cooldown on Invoke. 2-second cooldown with Invoke and 0 mana cost. It's excellent. You just throw spells everywhere and you just make team fights absolute hell for your enemy. Alright, so hang on, I'll do an imitation of the Bastion announcer. Both teams are biding their time. terrible imitation. But that's what both teams are doing. They're just sort of sizing each other up at the moment. Nope, the Radiant team are looking for that team fight. They want to come in, they have that advantage. So they want to use it. Clinks now has this Orchid, so if he can find those pickoffs, he'll be making those count. If he's able to catch out pretty much the Invoker, the Dazzle... oh, come on, my impression wasn't that bad, was it? Oh. But, yeah, if this Clinks is able to catch out the Invoker, the Dazzle, or even the Faceless Void, with that Orchids, he's going to be able to take those 3 heroes down. But, in a team fight, going straight in, the Radiant team have the upper hand. There's a Weave on top of the 3 heroes, boosting all their armor. Lich ult has been thrown in, but Delta split from the Radiant heroes, pulling all apart. Bloodseeker was going in after that Dazzle, but with the Dazzle's shallow grave on himself, he wasn't able to finish the job, and we've got one more hit. One more hit does pick off that Bloodseeker, and they're just continuing to dive. That is a team wipe for the Dire team. And there we go, GG from the Dire team. So, excellent game. Well played by the Radiant team. The picks and bans, something to review. Go back and have a look at there. Yeah, just sort of picking your opponent's that many disables and things that you can do there. Yep, shout out to Noobaholic for, I'm guessing, that must be you who's doing those little things off to the side there. So thank you very much, Noobaholic. You have to teach me how to do that later on. Well played by both teams. Excellent fun match. There is a reverse Captain's Mode game with a little smiley face in the corner there. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright. Thank you very much everyone for watching. And this is Project Swift signing out.